I was hoping that it would be this good, but I had my doubts. Because I was like, okay, like, I don't know, is it gonna go to that place where, like, it will ruffle feathers,
I
you
hope so.
know, and it will piss people off? I want it to, but I know Seth Rogen is so deep into Hollywood now, like, maybe he's not comfortable doing that as much. And nope, he did it. Like, he definitely went for it. Like, hello, everyone. Welcome to Lost in the Real. This is Sean.
And this is Morgan.
And today we are talking about Apple TV Plus's new comedy series, The Studio.
So, The Studio premieres on Apple TV Plus on March 26th. And Sean, what is it about?
So, The Studio is about a giant film nerd, not unlike many of the people probably watching this video right now, named Matt, who basically gets his dream job as this studio head. And unfortunately, this dream job is not all it's cracked up to be because he is trying to make all the art house movies, the prestige pictures that he's always dreamed of, but then has to make all the executives happy and the actors and the directors and the crew and all of these people around him, all the while still trying to chase his dream. And that is what The Studio is all about. Okay, so Morgan, what did you think about The Studio?
I loved it. I did not think I was going to love it. And I'm sure I've told you this so many times where I don't super like anything that's just like in Hollywood. Like, it can be like a circle jerk of just like, look at us, we're in Hollywood, just
Where is this circle jerk going to take place?
like, but I loved it, and I didn't think I was gonna love it. I thought I'd roll my eyes at everything and just like not enjoy it, but I enjoyed every single episode, and just the directing, writing, all the cameos. Are you kidding me? How much did that cost? I don't even know.
Insanity.
How did they do that?
Insanity. The budget on this thing, I don't even want to know what it is because it's insane.
Insane. It's also like, but like you can see like Seth Rogen's and probably Evan Goldberg's like ties of just being decades into this industry, and just say like, let's call in all our friends, and it works. And but more importantly, like the directing is what kept me engaged, and it wasn't obnoxious like most Hollywood set things can be for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is definitely going to be on my top 10 TV shows of the year. This show is so phenomenal. Like you said, every single episode is so entertaining and hilarious and exciting in different ways. And I love what you also said about how you thought you were going to roll your eyes and it was going to be like kissing all the asses of Hollywood and blah, 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 because sometimes this stuff can come off like that, right? Like movies about Hollywood or shows about Hollywood. You know, it's like, let's like glamorize this.
Their Hollywood films glamorize the lifestyle of the upper few, while the rest of the country keeps fantasizing that one day this could be them.
This is a biting satire about the Hollywood industry. And so, but at the same time, it also is a show that loves the Hollywood, industry as well. So it's like there's two different. There's a juxtaposition between the two. We love movies. We love what comes out of that process, but we also can make fun of how stupid and ridiculous and rotten this system has become. And so to blend those two things together And with Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg at the helm of that, they just have created something that is so, like, it's not perfect, but it is brilliant.
Brilliant, close to perfect in my opinion. And I'm very cynical when it comes to this kind of, I don't know, media. But like the blend of it though, that satire plus like, I don't know, nostalgia and romance, like they did such a good job that I was like, yes, I'm here for it.
I love, like you said, nostalgia. Like they bring in like those like old school cars, and it like kind of feels almost like old school Hollywood at the beginning. And every episode has like its own unique flavor. Like, I mean, I almost like, I don't want to, we are not going to go into spoilers or anything, but I kind of want to go into our favorite episodes because I have a couple, and one of them is the second episode about the oneer. That's what it's called. And it's about the one take.
Oh, yes.
And Morgan, I know you know this about me. I am obsessed with one takes, like the one from Children of Men. Obsessed. 1917. Obsessed. Birdman, obviously.
Birdman. They name it.
Children of Men is my favorite still to this day, though. I think that is the most brilliant oneer. But I love that, and I love how they make fun of it, and how he comes in like a bumbling idiot, and like basically just causes chaos while trying to make this oneer. And then I think about like, does that happen in real life? Like these studio execs, like, let me see if they're spending all my money, and then they like are ruining, this crazy one shot. So I loved that episode. I thought it was so funny.
I do. I love that episode too, and like the fact, and then going back to the one shots, like the way that this is filmed, like the one shot kind of tie in, like just like it's beautiful. I'm just like astounded that they can do this. And at first I thought it was going to be for that episode, and of course the second episode, or the first episode in that episode, but they just kept. That's the theme, and I'm like, you are crushing it. Keep at it, and they do, and I love it so much. I'm a sucker for the one shots too. Like I'm just like, because I'm kind of in this mindset of where I'm so over cuts. Like, please let actors act. And here we have an entire series, let alone a series where they let all these wonderful actors act. Like, yes.
Absolutely. And that brings me to another part that I love about this show is that, of course, anyone that is obsessed with Hollywood or the movies or TV or whatever, they've always dreamt of being a part of them somehow, right? And this show, there is no other show, movie, piece of media that has ever put the audience in the shoes of the people behind the scenes better than what this show is doing. Like, when they did the Golden Globes episode, and like how it was like zooming in and going around the tables and like hitting like certain people, like the camera movements, everything was so brilliant, and I felt like I was there. And then there was certain moments where I'm like, oh, that's kind of boring, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's what the people in the Golden Globes audience think when they're watching them, like I don't know, like it hit every movie film nerd bone in my body.
Oh, I mean, like, I enjoyed it, and I'm a film nerd, but I tend to, like, again, I have this, like, general disdain for a lot of Hollywood. I'm so sorry. But, like, with, like, half the cameos, I was just like, Sean would know every single person that was in here, versus I was like, is that really them? Is that really them? Like, but going to the episodes, your favorite ones, my favorite one was definitely the Golden Globes. Like, so good, because it, again, the satire, the kind of the making fun of like, this is what happens, and then I can't remember what episode the number is, but it's the oncologist pediatric.
Oh, that one was so funny
And so real, because I feel like everyone in the film industry has had this kind of interaction before, and I was like, as someone who loves film and tries to like nerd out on it versus people don't take it seriously, like it was great to have that conversation. It was just it hit my bone, like that hit, like I was just like, yes.
don't you think, like, I don't know how anyone who loves movies and TV will not love this show.
This is for them.
Yes. Like, and maybe like outsiders might not understand it completely, and they might not be as super into this show as I was, or like you might be. But if you love movies or TV, this show is going to blow your mind. That's what I have to say about that.
No, it's for them. It's for us.
Yeah.
It's and if you're not into it, you're gonna be into the classic Seth Rogen shenanigans in a way.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of which, the comedy, like, there is so much comedy here. I do think a lot of the comedy derives from knowing about certain like Hollywood insider things. And if you know about that stuff, it definitely adds to the comedy. But there's also some broad comedy here. There's all of the cameos that come in that people will enjoy and that they will understand, even if they know just like the basics of the movies. And so I think the comedy works on a lot of different levels too.
And I don't think you need to be a big fan of like the industry to like understand the jokes or like the stress of it all, because it's just you know. But again, like there's a point where like sometimes I was like, okay, the cameos are getting too extreme. Like how many more can you shove into one season? Like but it was great though.
And I agree with you, because I was like, okay, this is a lot, right? Like there are like at least like 100 cameos in this show. But the way that they take everything and then kind of circle it all around to the last 2 episodes where they're doing their presentation at CinemaCon, I think that really kind of brought everything together in a way that I really needed it to. Because I was really searching for a through line to the show, and every episode was almost like a standalone episode that were all memorable on their own. But I almost wanted like a storyline to keep us through. And the only one that I could think of was the Kool-Aid movie, which was brought up in like the first episode, and then it's not really brought up until like the 5th or 6th episode again. And I was like, okay, I kind of want something to really like bring this show together. And then they do it at the end. So I was very happy that they kind of brought it all full circle. They brought a lot of the cameos back, and that worked for me on a million different levels too.
Oh, that works on so many levels.
Totally great ending to the series. It wasn't just like, here are clips of Hollywood. It was like, it was thought through and it was beautiful. I really enjoyed that ending too.
Yeah. And I mean, let me tell you, you will see Bryan Cranston like you've never seen him before, okay? Like, I love Bryan Cranston in this last couple of episodes. I thought he was so funny. So there's definitely a few things that I would like to see in this show moving forward, I guess you could say. And these aren't negatives about this first season. It's more things that I'm like, I would like that if they do give this a second season, which 100% they absolutely should. I can see this going on to win all the Emmys, I don't know about the Golden Globes, because they talk shit in the Hollywood foreign press in this.
Of course they're gonna give it a fucking Emmy, because it's just a show about everything that is this industry. Like, of course, you'd be like, oh, it's us, it's us, it's us. Like, I mean, it's good, it's wonderful, but they've never not given something to a show that's about them.
Yeah, but I do think that it's a show that is making fun of them too. I was hoping that it would be this good, but I had my doubts. Because I was like, okay, like, I don't know, is it gonna go to that place where like it will ruffle feathers? You know? and it will piss people off. I want it to, but I know Seth Rogen is so deep into Hollywood now, like maybe he's not comfortable doing that as much. And nope, he did it. Like he definitely went for it. Like there were like the Hollywood Foreign Press thing. I was like, ooh, I don't know. So are there going to be people who do not like this show that are in the industry because they're like, oh, are they talking about us? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that could very well be the case too. So I think this show could rub a lot of people the wrong way, and that are in the industry at least.
I hope so.
And I hope it does too. And I think that's what it's meant to be. Is this show that like it is going to ruffle some people's feathers, but it's also the perspective of Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and trying to work in this industry for all these decades and get their work seen. Um, I don't know. So will it get some Emmys and Golden Globes? Maybe. But I do think it is going to ruffle some people's feathers.
I like all of that. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I hope it does too, though.
But there's something you do you like certain things or dislike certain things?
I would like to see like a second season have a stronger through line, or storyline rather, kind of like what I was talking about before, where you have all these standalone episodes, but you're also kind of staying in tune because there's something that like a final goal, right? Which they never really make clear in this season. It just honestly, it's like, oh, here's CinemaCon, at the end. So like, I want there to be a stronger through line, and then also, I love all these characters. We have some of the best actors here. We have Ike Barinholtz, we have Katherine O'Hara, we have Catherine Hahn, we have Chase Sui Wonders. Like, okay, like these are great actors, and I feel like we get little moments of character development with them. But I would really love to see each one of these characters have like a little bit more moments where they get some real character development, and where this show kind of like simmers down a little bit and takes moments to breathe and give these characters time to grow.
Oh my god, yes, because I feel like we see Seth Rogen's character fully dimensional, I guess, like
Yes.
versus like Catherine O'Hara's character, Catherine Hahn. Like I'm just like, we need more of them and like thought through, not these kind of. Well, we see them, but like just more clarification of who they are as characters, not these kind of like studio archetypes.
Right.
But I feel you. Like I was kind of like towards like a couple of the end episodes, I was like, where is this going? Like, are we just gonna do like kind of like bits of the studio? But then they closed it out and I saw it finally. But I would like in season 2, and I hope there is a season 2 because I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this, and I would like, that just like more depth in the characters and like the line of where it's going in the next season.
And I think it is fully possible. Like, I think what they did in this first season is near perfection. And so all I'm saying is like, let's give us a little bit more even. But besides that, like, I don't know. I cannot wait for people to see this series. Okay, so Morgan, I have to know, what would you rate this series out of 5?
I'm rating this 4.75 out of 5 because it's like near perfect. I love it so much. There's so many amazing things about it, but I just wish that in the next season, like the episodes have more like plot that like shows where the ending's going to be, and not just these standalone kind of episodes, and more characters with like more depth, like Catherine O'Hara's character and stuff. So close to perfect, but those are my little points.
I mean, yeah, I'm right on the same page with you. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, just because I'm hoping season 2 or season 3 will be a 5 out of 5 for me, and I know that it's definitely possible. And I'm sorry, but this year in television We have HBO with The Pit and also The White Lotus season 3. And we have Apple TV Plus with Severance season 2 and now The Studio. And we're only 2.5 months in to the year. So TV is killing it. I don't know what's going on with the movies right now, but TV is killing it. And this is one of the best. It's definitely the best new series so far this year. And I love everything about it. If you're a film lover, if you are a lover of Hollywood, or if you're even a hater of Hollywood, I think The Studio is for you. So please check it out. I think this is going to be a huge hit for Apple TV Plus.
Same. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel.
What are your thoughts on The Studio? And also, I really want to know, what are your thoughts on the state of film versus TV in 2025? For me, I think TV is doing amazing. I think film, not so much. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below.
Same. Take care, my friends. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys. Take care.